Hey everyone, Charles here. And first of all, thank you for stopping by my podcast. If this show inspires you, makes you think, or gives you that courage to jump into action, please help by donating to this show. Click the link in the description and donate. Your donation helps us with production and finding great guests moving forward. Thank you and enjoy.
You know you should be doing something different, right? Hey, I'm talking to you. Do you believe that you have the gift for greatness or have a special talent, but don't have the courage to take that next step? Always wondering how others made it look so easy? Well, welcome to Jump, the show that will bring you special guests just like you and me. How did they get the courage to jump into greatness? Doing what they love and living the good life. So, get ready to jump with your host, Charles Matthews Jr.
Yes. Hey, everybody, and welcome to the show. Now, this is your first time. It's Jump. And I'm not talking about jumping up and down. I'm talking about jumping into greatness, jumping into the next level. What's holding you back from jumping? You got greatness in you. I want to make sure you get it out. So what I do, I bring interesting guests from all around the world, just like me and you, and go, hey, how did you jump? What made it different? What made you interesting for you to take that chance and jump? So you know something? I got a special guest for you. He jumped. I want to know how he did it. Please welcome to the show, Dustin.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Glad to be here. Thank you, Charles, for having me on the show, man. I'm excited to share my jump story.
No problem. Where are you calling in from, my friend?
I am in the Dallas, Texas area.
Oh, you got that nice weather going on right now.
Yes, I'm loving it. It has been warming up. Now that spring is here, so yes.
So, born and raised, where are you from?
Funny enough, California. So I'm part of those people that moved 2 years ago. Was just done with the traffic, man, and just like everything there. I love California. I still have 2 gyms back there, but decided to pack up the family and move out to the good old Midwest, and so we are loving it. So yeah, that's a little background for you.
So tell me, the little man in you growing up, what did you want to become? What did you see yourself doing?
Funny story. So it's probably a very unique job position that most people don't consider, and that is to be a pro wrestler. So I watched WWE and WCW in the 90s and the 80s and watched these big, larger than life men go to war in the middle of the ring. And again, I know that that's probably not what most kids are thinking. That's what I'm going to grow up and do, but that's what I wanted to do. And so it's funny because I did it. I eventually went to wrestling school and I did officially become a pro wrestler for 10 years. So when you were saying jump, I was like, I used to jump off the top rope. I used to do drop kicks. I used to do elbow drops. And so there's many lessons I learned from that stage of my life. But yeah, it is something I no longer do. So that's who I want to be.
As a wrestling fan, I can't bypass this segment right now then, because now we just blew up my whole new world. Okay. I'm going back to, the Junkyard Dog, Rowdy Piper, those are the good old days. And then you got into the Chris Bosches, everybody they just love to see the wrestling. And then I love when they brought the basketball players into wrestling, you see Shaquille O'Neal going against Big Show. Those are the good days. So tell me, what was your most memorable matches?
It's funny. I actually remember an argument my mom and dad having when I was a young, impressionable kid. My dad ordered secretly Royal Rumble while my mom was gone. And we watched to my unknowing eyes, I'm seeing Undertaker lock somebody in a coffin and wrap a chain around it. And the stage hands are trying to beat it with a hammer and get somebody. And I'm watching this. I'm in terror. I think I'm literally watching somebody choke out to death in the coffin. And they're beating it. And then, they finally get him out. And I'm like, oh, my God, that was crazy. But then at the same time, I'm like, this is awesome. I want to watch this all the time. And then it's funny. When my mom found it like a month later, we got the bill. And I just remember her yelling. My dad's name is Bill, funny enough. Bill, what is this Royal Rumble, fee on our payments? And so he was busted. He's not supposed to be ordering that. He's not supposed to be letting me watch it for sure. But it was kind of that little secret vice that me and him had. And that kind of was our bond when I was growing up, was like, turn on the TV behind my mom's back and watching wrestling. So yeah, that was that's definitely
Well,
one that stands out as a memory.
well, I have to admit that takes a lot of dedication for you to be, do what you got to do. A lot of hard work, sweat, tears. I guess a lot of bumps and bruises as well. What did you learn from all that hard work?
Yeah, so it's funny because although my main focus these days is in the fitness industry, there are lessons I learned from my time in the wrestling world, and I still have good friends. I mean, you see these signed action figures up here on my shelf. My two good friends that I grew up with in the industry were the Young Bucks. We were literally a block down from one another. So they're in the AEW company. The other big company everyone knows is WWE, and so essentially I was able to learn a lot of good skills that translated into business when I dove into that. And so one of them was building my hustle muscles. And so we started before social media was a big thing that you can advertise on. We had to literally go out and put flyers all around town. We would put them in businesses. We would be putting them on cars. Security guards would be chasing us. Hey, you can't flyer here at Target and Walmart, but we didn't care because we were really excited about our show. And that's something that I think a lot of business owners have lost the ability is good old fashioned guerrilla marketing, to get out and to talk to people in their area and to get belly to belly and join the Chamber of Commerce and put out flyers and put up banners. We're very lazy because we've been spoon fed leads through digital marketing. And that's a good thing. But I think if you're, a local business that does have a storefront or a brick and mortar location, you will really crush it if you can learn your hustle, to build your hustle muscles and get in front of people locally and use digital marketing. That's the best of both worlds. So that is essentially one lesson that I learned. I would say one other one that really stands out, as you see in the in the pro wrestling world, is to be unique. So we talked about some, wrestlers, the Undertaker. Everybody knows his gimmick, as they call it in the industry. He wears dark clothes. The lights turn out. He's undead. He puts people in a tomb. And so that's his character. And so there's all kinds of characters in the wrestling world. Stone Cold Steve Austin, this beer drinking redneck from Texas, and he's going to kick you and give you a stunner. And he wants to beat up his boss. And he's the Texas Rattlesnake. So they all have these larger than life characters, but they basically took what they were known as and they cranked it up to volume 11. And so that was something that I translated into business was be unique. If you are a Me Too product, you are a commodity that people will shop for the lowest price in. And if you have your own, like uniqueness that nobody can, compare you to another, you are in a category of one. And so that is something that all business owners can take home and think about, like, am I special in any way? A lot of owners will leverage like, oh, well, it's me. Like they get me or they get my team and we're unique. But if your actual fulfillment on your service, your actual product is very similar to others, most customers are just going to price shop you for the lowest price. But you got to go and find that uniqueness. And that's something that, again, I had to bring to the table when I was designing my wrestling character. And all wrestlers kind of have to think like that. It's like, what makes me unique? Why would a promoter want to book me? What will make me stand out on the card? If I just put on, brown trunks and I just, have like a first and last name, I kind of look like all these guys on the card. I want to really be unique. So last thing I'll say on this is just what was our uniqueness in the ring. It's kind of a funny story. Again, I'm from fitness. We were me and my brother tagged up and we were called the Cutler Brothers. Our favorite bodybuilder was Jay Cutler. And we were these evil personal trainers. And so we would throw protein powder in the guy's eyes and they can't see. We would choke them with resistance bands and chest flies, choking the guy. We'd hit him with dumbbells when the ref's not looking. So like that was our spin. Now, if the promoter wants that act on his show, there's no other tag team personal trainers, that exist in wrestling.
Right.
So you gotta book me. And so that's what I would say to your listeners is like, be unique, put let your freak flag fly. All right. Let people know what kind of makes you weird or unique, because that is why they want to buy from you,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Definitely left because I was just about to ask you what was your signature move, but then now I can see it. You know what I mean? And the crowd is waiting for you to throw the powder in their faces. The crowd is waiting for you to go underneath the mat and hide the dumbbells or do all these things because they're like, this is you. This is what we know is coming up. But when is it coming? How is he going to do it? They know your finishing move, but it's the excitement of when and where and how is what kept everybody coming. So great on that. Well, let's find out some little bit more about you. Let's have some fun. It's now time for rapid fire. My friend, if I'm going to put 2 minutes on the clock, you get to choose your own questions. You get to choose A, B, C, or D. Now, you can elaborate on your answers, but remember, you got 2 minutes on the clock before the sound runs out. So what questions do you want? A, B, C, or D?
My name starts with D. Let's do D.
I love it. All right, here we go. 2 minutes on the clock starts now. If you could be any animal, what would you be and why?
I would be a gorilla because they are beasts and they have the most muscle of any animal that exists.
What is the weirdest thing you've eaten?
Oh man, I just had it on a trip to Costa Rica and that was fish eyes and it was not yummy.
Describe yourself in 5 words.
I am a badass.
Tell me your nickname that your parents used to call you.
Dustino, and then my cousins call me Dustbuster. So yeah, I knew I was in trouble. My mom said Dustino. I was like, uh-oh, what have I done?
Favorite childhood memory?
Oh man, it definitely was those nights in the wrestling ring, practicing with my friends and just having no cares in the world, like, you know, just no responsibilities. So yeah.
Something you do not like doing?
I would say letting people go from my team. That definitely sucks. I do not like doing that at all.
Favorite flower?
I'm gonna go sunflower.
What is your best feature?
My bald head. I don't have to buy shampoo and conditioner anymore. It's great.
When are you the happiest?
Honestly, when it's doing this, when I'm connecting with other people and we're really, you know, talking about a really fun subject, having a great conversation, I'd say that's where I'm really happy.
And 20 seconds left. How good are you at keeping the best secrets?
I'm actually terrible. I tell people not to share them with me. I'm gonna have to tell my wife. It's like a vow. So don't share any with me.
There you go. You made it with 2 seconds left. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. CMJ Entertainment is a one-stop shop. CMJ Entertainment helps people do any type of events, and it's a marketing tool as well. So we'll cover everything from start to finish. If it's a wedding, we'll make sure your wedding is over the top. And if it's an event, we make sure that everybody gets information at the end of the day. Give us a call at 416-414-8964 or online go to cmjent.com.
Hey, it's okay if you're driving or too busy to take notes. Charles has your parachute packed with all the info you need to jump into success. Check out the links section for all the tools you need to land safe. Now, let's keep falling with Charles and his special guest.
Yes. We are back live with our special guest. During the rapid fire, he said a couple of things. He went on a trip and you ate fish eyes. Yes. What was that? Well, who got you to do that part?
So we have friends down there and they let us come and stay with them. And you know, they just wanted us to show us the sights. And we went out fishing, caught some black tuna. And right there, they start carving it up. And they're like, hey, this is good, you know, protein. And I was like, all right, I'm going to be adventurous. I'm on vacation. I got to be wild, try new things. My kids are watching me. I can't let them down. Not the best, you know, experience in my mouth. We'll say that.
Well, it shows us that you're adventurous. You take chances. You're ready to jump. So let's jump right into this new book of yours. Tell everybody about this new book.
So thank you. It is called Reinforce Your Gym. I wrote it for gym owners. That's kind of who my world and who I help. And it's all about 3 main sections. So we have marketing, sales, and leadership, which I believe are really the 3 areas that are my expertise that I can help gym owners with. And so this is a labor of love, man. I've been a trainer 20 years. I've been a gym owner for 10 years. And so I don't think I'm smarter than anybody. I just think I got a lot of years of experience that I can put into a book and pass it on to my colleagues, my industry, give back to an industry that's given me so much. And it's one of those things that, yes, it is about getting members and building your revenue. But at the end of the day, it's about impact. And so I don't know if you've seen these stats, Charles, but our country is on track to be 50% obese by the year 2030. And then the world's population, the global population, is on track to be 50% obese by 2035. So we're leading the way in a bad way, which is we're leading the way in obesity, which is not something our country should be, proud of. But essentially, gyms are the people waging war on our soil against this terrible thing, because it just kills people way earlier than they need to go. And, who wants to do that? And so preventable diseases like heart disease, diabetes, strokes, so many can be prevented 100% just by lifestyle choices, what you eat and moving your body. And then let's just talk about quality of life. Most older folks you talk to, their biggest goal is not how they look and abs and how they look in a bikini. They want physical independence. They want to move through their house and not need to make a call or fall over and need to call somebody or break a hip or, just be fragile, right? We want to be independent till the day we die. And that starts with now. What you do in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s is how you will live your life in your 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. And so that's why I'm so motivated to help people. Even 20 years in, people say, man, what's your secret? How are you still motivated? I'd be burnt out 20 years in. It's seeing the impact in people's quality of life, because fitness had an impact on me. I was 60 pounds overweight as a teenager. So I know what obese people are going through. And I just ate a ton of crap. I ate Oreos and candy and fast food. I had no vegetables or protein in sight. And then I'd sit down and I'd watch pro wrestling or I'd play video games, and I'm just packing on pounds. And it wasn't until one day a friend invited me to the gym, and we did a standard meathead workout. We do chest and biceps. So we're just getting there clanging and banging. And I got this pump, and I thought to myself, oh my God, what have I been missing out on? This is the best feeling I've ever had. And I want to do this, every day and transform my body. So I actually committed to that friend to go with him to the gym every day for 6 months. And I proceeded to lose 60 pounds. And then I'm standing in the mirror and I have visible abs and I'm proud of my body and I'm feeling confident. I said, now I'm going to not focus on me. I want to help other people. And that was the day I decided to become a certified trainer. And fast forward from there, I opened my first gym. Fast forward from there, I opened 6 gyms over 6 years. And so now I'm taking all those lessons, because those gyms, some of them succeeded and some of them did not. I had some really tough learning lessons. And that's everything that I've put in this book.
So give us one story on the learning curve, because I believe that everybody's learning curve is what makes them great. You learn from it. You go, oh man, I just had to do that. Oh, I could have just done that. What was your learning curve?
Yeah, for me, all my friends that were also gym owners had won. So I was a trailblazer going in and opening multiple locations, at least in my world. I know there's many now that I've met, but at that time I didn't know any. So I didn't have someone that could be my mentor and ask, how do you do things when you get to 2 and 3 and 4? And, how do you change your systems and leadership? Nobody really could lead me. So I just decided, okay, I'm going to go. I'm going to be an action taker. I'm going to jump. And the learning lesson that I really had humbled me was that I did not scale systems, leadership, and culture. And so what happened was the first location was successful because I was there every day busting my butt. I was being the magic of the culture. I was holding the standards high. I was on site daily. And then I go to location 2 and now I'm only there half the week. And then I go to location 3 and maybe I think location 1 doesn't need me and I stop showing up. Things start to erode. Culture starts to erode. Standards start to erode. People are just showing up in shirts that are not even company shirts anymore. There's wires hanging on the wall. There's holes in the wall that I would have repaired, within 24 hours, and they've been there for weeks. And I start realizing everybody on my team is not holding the line. And that is my fault, because I didn't have a leader that I was going to hand the torch to and say, this is your, place now. You need to take good care of it. I'm, trusting you. And so the big learning curve is, if you are in that brick and mortar world, you have to develop leaders to move to the other locations. If you're in the online world, then you want to develop leaders that are going to ascend in your business and essentially that you can hand things off to. But at the end of the day, you can't start too early. Start developing leaders today, because they are the people of tomorrow that will take things off your plate.
So you were the key component to all the gyms, because when people walked in there, they're looking for you. You might have gave them that little energy. You might have been like, hey buddy, how you doing? They saw your face. They're like, oh, that's the guy I want to come see. When I saw him in the morning, you would walk by and say, hey, just try this little bit. And they gave them that little extra little tips. That's why they came to see you. You were the key to the success.
Yes. Huge learning curve. And again, my team was good, but if you don't have a leader in place, then the inmates can easily run the asylum, right? And that's kind of what happened. So again, just no chain of command. Who do we report to? Who's in charge here? When will Dustin be here next? Sometimes I didn't tell them, and then it'd be 2 weeks, and they're like, "We didn't know when you'd be here next, but we got this laundry list of things we need to go over." And I'm like, "Okay, let's do it." But again, failed massively as a leader. Got too big for my britches. Wanted to expand, foot to the gas pedal. And I paid the price. I ended up having to close 2 of those locations. And so essentially that was a big major learning curve for me.
So then here's a question. How do you find another you? Because it's your baby. It's your stuff. You know how you want to work it. How do you find a duplicate? There's only one you. How do you find someone like you to take over?
Yeah, this is a great question. I could riff on this for a long time, but the difference is actually changing from looking for a generalist, because that's what the owner is. They're the ultimate generalist. They know how to market, they know how to sell, they know how to deliver, they know how to attention to detail, they know how to clean the place. They are awesome at everything. You want to hire specialists because it is very unlikely you will find somebody that can hold a candle to you in terms of your skills as a generalist. You won't. They don't exist in the workforce. How do you even put that up? Now hiring generalists, somebody that can do a little bit of everything. You can't. So it's like, I had to learn, no, I need the Navy SEALs of each position in the company. I need the Navy SEALs of marketing to run my market. I need the Navy SEALs coaches to run my sessions. And I wanted the best of the best, the elite in each position of the company. And that is how you eventually get to delegate and elevate and get out of that role. So the question I always lead with is not, usually like, what's the easiest for you to get off your plate? I think for the owner, you have to always play support to their energy, because you are the one that's in it for the long haul. We need your energy more than anybody as the owner. So we are here to support the owner. So my first question is, what drains your energy? That's the first thing you hire for. The things that give you energy, you should keep. And, that's what we're, wanting to look at, is not necessarily dollar power, because they'll say, get the low dollar tasks off your plate. I disagree. If that gives you energy and then you take this high dollar task, like, again, some owners don't like sales and it brings the most money in, but it drains them. You shouldn't do sales then. Protect your energy. Hire somebody to come in and take your tasks that drain your energy first, and then move along. But yeah, that'd be the answer, is just shift your mind from finding the exact replicate of you, find specialists and get stuff off your plate.
I love what you just said right there, because it's you don't want to burn yourself out, but there's parts of the job you love, and that's what keeps you going. So, find people to do the other parts, but the parts you love doing, why give that away? You know what I mean? You love coming in and putting away the weights. That's your time to think. Everybody's like, oh, get somebody else to do that. No, that's what I like doing. I like walking around, putting back the weights. It gives me my time to think. It gives me time to walk around and say hi to everybody. That's what I love doing. But somebody might look at you and go, can he hire somebody to do that? But that's the thing that makes you you. So I love that part. All right. Off topic. Best body part to work out. What do you do? Come on. I need to know. What are you, a chest, legs, arms?
I'm a standard meathead guy. It's all chest and biceps. We call them mirror muscles. Like when you pump them up, you can see them. Not so much anything in the backside, but that has gotten more popular. The ladies these days are flaunting their glutes more than ever. And so for me, I'm just your standard meathead. I get a great amount of confidence and feeling good when I got a nice chest pump. My arms are like filling out my shirt. I'm like, all right, let's go dominate the day. Let's go. So, yeah. All
right, fellas, you heard it right there. Make sure you do some push-ups before you walk out the door. All right, let's go. Now time for pick 3. It's now time for pick 3. What's going to happen is, before I let you go, you are going to pick your last 3 questions before I let you go. I need 3 numbers between 1 and 13, and those are the questions I'm going to ask you before we say goodbye. Give me 3 numbers between 1 and 13.
Okay, let's get a nice even spread. Let's go 3, 7, and 13.
3, 7, and 13. Okay, here we go. What advice would you give someone pursuing a similar career to yours?
Hire a mentor ASAP, because you don't know what you don't know, and you can get to your goals quicker if they show you the shortcuts.
Now, describe your mentor, because I've been interviewing a lot of people and they always say, get a mentor, get a mentor. But then what I realized, though, is each mentor is a little different. So what type of mentor are you talking about?
Yeah, you're right. Because, again, what if I'm trying to improve my marriage? I'm going to go hire a relationship coach. If I want to learn to play the drums, I'm going to hire a drum coach. So if the goal is business, then it's a business coach who has literally walked the path. They're not speaking from theory. I actually found that it works better if I get a very specific coach that has walked the path that I want to walk. So if I want to build $1 million gym, I want to hire a coach that's built $1 million gym. You can find a general coach who kind of like coaches everybody in business, but I find that your results will be lagging a lot more there because they don't know the step-by-step of literally how to do everything. Where the person who's walked the path, so easy for them to just riff because it's coming from memory, not from theory. So again, find somebody that can lead you from memory, not from theory. I'd say that's how you can digest which coach.
100%. 100%. If they're telling you to move the treadmills over to the left side of the room, there's a reason why. They've been there. They've done that. It's closer to the washroom. It's closer to the shower. It might be more mirrors for them to look at. There's a reason why they're telling you this stuff. So there you go, 100%. What is one myth about your industry that you want to squash right now?
If it is a coach, it's that carbs make you fat. If it's the business side of me, it's I need more leads. So I'll kind of touch on both, if that's okay, Charles.
Yeah, go right ahead.
So, the coach to me says carbs don't make you fat. It's sugar that makes you fat for most people. And people don't know that there's actually subcategories of carbohydrates. So there's starchy carbs like bread and rice and pasta. There's sugary carbs, and they're like simple sugars like, your Gatorade, your candy. And then there's fibrous carbs, which are fruits and vegetables. Most people don't know fruits and vegetables are considered a carb. So the attack on carbs has to stop. There are good carbs. Rice, potatoes, it's starches and fibrous carbs are the best. It's the sugary ones that you want to be mindful of and not overdo. So again, eat them. I enjoy ice cream. I enjoy, a candy bar, but essentially that's the thing that you're eating, 10 or 15% of your diet, while 80 to 85 is all the good foods that support your body and help you to feel good and give you energy. Now the business side of me says, hey guys, business owners, it's got to stop in the mindset of I need more leads. I need more leads. If I had more leads, my business would be booming. My belief is you don't need more leads. You need more leadership. And what that comes down to is you're getting enough leads, but the question is, how good are you leading your team at converting them, at selling them? How good are you keeping people? A lot of times people are wanting leads to fill an empty bucket or a bucket with holes where people are leaving as quickly as they're coming in. That's where leadership shows up. Own your problems. Own that, okay, I better fix my retention. I got too many people leaving. This is getting out of control. I have high team turnover. People don't stay on a team where they don't follow the leader and believe in the leader. So if you're turning and burning team members, you probably need to work on becoming a better leader. And so I believe that most of the problems in the business comes from the owner, the leaders, and they need to be stronger leaders. When the marketing is flowing and the leads are coming, people will stay, pay, and refer. But we chase marketing thinking it's the holy grail of business growth.
All right. Before I move on, favorite chocolate bar? You mentioned it. I got to ask it.
So I try to watch my sugar, and that's why I love the Quest peanut butter cup. I think it's 1 gram of sugar, and they taste amazing. I could eat one every day the rest of my life and never feel deprived. So Quest peanut butter cups by far.
When this goes out in the air, everybody's rushing out to go grab one right now. Okay. So
Yeah.
Make sure you get a sponsorship from those guys. All right. Last one. What are 3 other podcasts or books that inspire you? And you better mention your book in one of these 3 books.
Yeah. No, great. So I one of my mentors from afar, he doesn't know it, is Ed Mylett. I love his podcast, the Ed Mylett Show. So if there was a podcast I'd point people to in self-development, it applies to anybody and everybody. Go listen to that one. Books, 3 of them. Love this one. Obviously, I'm going to stand by mine. I put a lot of work and effort into it. Reinforce Your Gym for gym owners, but also there is marketing and sales tactics that anybody can pull from it. I'd say the second one that really helps you excel in life is How to Win Friends and Influence People. So many good tips on communication, influence, building a friendship. I honestly think a lot of people just don't know how to friend, how to adult, how to just befriend somebody, and how to make it so you're talking about them more than you're talking about yourself. I'll tell you, Charles, this is uncomfortable because most of the time I'm doing the opposite. I'm talking to the person. I'm interested in them. I'm trying to ask questions. So it takes me getting out of my comfort zone to sit here and be interviewed, ask questions about me, because that's not usually me. I'm usually want to talk about the other person. But that's because I learned that from that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And then finally, the leadership book that I think is the foundational one that everybody should read is The Great 5 Levels of Leadership by John Maxwell. I think there's so many practical things you can pull from that. So I tend to go back to old books that are timeless and they continue to come up on people's recommendation list. New books are good too, but typically go back and pull that wisdom that you hear people referring for decades. And those are books that have been standing the test of time.
All right. Make sure you go out. There it is. I'll put the link in the description. Make sure you grab his book. It's on Amazon right now. We want to make sure it hits the bestseller because that's what it's all about. You are the person that you need to be. Now, hey, you woke up this morning kind of tired. You're wondering, well, what I need to do. You need to do those 10 push-ups. You heard what he said. You look better. You feel better when you get that pump on. So make sure you go get that pump on. Listen, my friend, it's been an honor and a pleasure to have you on my show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Charles. Appreciate it. And if anybody needs my help, send me a DM on Facebook or Instagram. Glad to help.
There you go. It's your time to shine, everybody. It's now time to jump. What are you waiting for? Get your pump on. We'll see you next time. Hey, hope you had a great time listening to the show. If you think I did a great job, please buy me a coffee. I still got a lot of work to do. We would love to hear from you, your feedback, so please click the link and leave us a review. You can help us grow by following us on all social media platforms and sharing this link. Once again, it's time for you to jump. Success is waiting.